Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mythic Legions Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. There he is. I was never going to remember his name, so I had to read it right there. There is his little bio about him. You are more than welcome to pause it and read it if you want, but we're going to take a look at the figure because that's what I review, and I have to say, I've talked about the Mythic Legions before. If you don't have one and you're a toy collector, you need to at least pick one up and see exactly what all the hype is about. And for $50, what you get with this, and what I mean by that is the soft goods, the paint, the articulation has always been something to be left a little to be desired, I guess you could say, but it doesn't change the fact of how wonderful these are. So anyway, we're going to take a look at this figure. He's got an extra head sculpt. There he is there. I got it, he's got soft goods, big sword. All right, there's a nice little logo right there. And then on the back here, you can see everyone in the wave. Now, I did not get everyone in the wave as I'm not all in on Mythic Legions. But if you are wondering, did you get his horse? Well, yes, of course I got his horse because guy needs his horse to ride around on. But anyway, we're not going to review the horse on this video. We're going to do it in a following video. So anyway, let's take a look at this guy. Let's get into this because I'm really excited to get him open. See how much better he is than maybe some of the other Mythic Legions, if he is any better. Again, they've all been wonderful. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like when you see me get away from, let's say, G.I. Joe, maybe you don't want all the people that just suck up to everything. They're going to give you an actual fair and honest review. Please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Mythic Legions video review. They're by the Four Horsemen if you didn't know that. Now let's go. All right, so we got him out here, and this is Sir, what was your name again? Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. All right, so the first thing that we're going to have in here is there's a little piece of paper that does talk about joints of Mythic Legion figures can become tight after production when posing Mythic Legions figures for the first time, especially during cold weather. It's recommended that you heat the form of warm air, whatever. So anyway, it tells you what to do. I personally, when I am going to heat a figure, I like to use the hot water method. It completely warms the figure inside and out. With this guy, if we need to, I'm going to try not to, I have to use a hair dryer only because he does have soft goods and obviously you just can't get those wet. So I try and do it without it, popping the hands off and different things like that, only because I want you to see what you can do with it. I know what I'm doing and I'm not going to try and break anything. So that's what we will do here. But let's go over the accessories first because that's what I like to do. So if you're new to the channel, please hit that like button. But I do like to go over the accessories first. So first off, we're going to take a look at this amazing, amazing shield. And as you can see, it is nothing like this shield over here. Not that I'm putting that one down, but look at that. You got this awesome eagle on it. You got a sword that's right through it. It is like a soft goods, so it can move around. But looking at that detail, that is awesome. So what that is that a crown? I'm not exactly sure. But you do have this awesome detail right up here. So it's kind of in gold. And then this is gold. And then you have this silver right there. All the way down to the talons down here, looking at those claws. But even the sword and everything on it look just awesome. All right. Now this does look like it's all one color. Maybe the legs are different. It's hard to see. But looking at that detail, that is absolutely awesome. And then all you're going to have is one peg here. And then they give you the handle. And even on the handle, they're going to give you some grip. And what's nice about this is that we can turn it 360 degrees any way that we want it. All right. So it actually is pretty good because you can get them in different poses, but not always have to get the hand or the arm exactly where you want. So we can kind of pose it differently there. Here we got a belt. That's probably going to go across his body this way so we can hold different things. Now I don't see anywhere to actually hold anything on this, but here on this it is like a leather strap. You can see the the latch. Sometimes you forget things when you're doing this. Just so you can obviously hold it. Or this is the latch. I know I'm saying that wrong. But again, you can kind of see how it's already set. A little bit of paint goes so far, and that's what you're going to get with these Mythic Legions here. So we got a couple of different hands. All right, so we got these thumb wrestling hands. They're the exact same other than right and left. You can see the nice little scales on it. That's obviously for the armor. And then obviously he still has armored hands, or fingers, shall I say. And that looks really good. It looks like it is all in one color, maybe with a little bit of a wash on it. I think a lot of times, a lot of this type of stuff, and not just with these figures, but a lot of figures, when there's a lot of texture on it, the lights make it look like it has more color to it, which I think looks really nice. All right, so here we have another belt. And once again here, there's this little latch for it. I know I'm saying that wrong. Please correct me. I don't know why I can't think of what. The belt buckle, that's it. But the little paint on it, so it looks like you can change it. And then you have some gold up here. Another buckle right there. And this is going to be so you can hold the actual sword, all right? So you're going to be able to put it in different, on different ways. And then the sword is just going to slide right in there. And you see we got this big old sword right here, which I'm excited to get that thing out and look at. So here we have another piece that I'm going to assume connects to this. So you can just kind of latch it around his arm. So this way, he doesn't have to hold it if he doesn't want. You can have him carrying one of his swords. Here we have one of the pauldrons, so you can change them out here. All right, so we can change the pauldron out. I'm sure it's probably only going to go on one side, but who knows? Maybe we can fit one over there. We'll see once we take that out there. Here we have two little wings. Now, these should peg into his back, or actually they peg into his helmet, which is just like one of the figures that I just knocked over and he literally tumbled, he dominoed all my stuff. So anyway, pauldron here. This one is actually going to go on. So this is actually for the other side. It actually plugs in right here. So this goes for the other side if you want to use it. Nice little wash on it, gold, all this detail. It does look like it's been used, like it's been in some sort of battle. Nice little design right there. Everything that they do is just 100%. We're going to put this over here because we'll deal with that a little bit later. So here is the neck piece for this head, because he obviously has his helmet on. So you don't want... Well, I don't know why they have it. Because it looks like he still has the armor here. I would have thought that this would have been skin tone, but it's not. So, well, I guess we'll find out in a second. All right, so let's take a look at these wings that we're going to put on here. A couple of different colors. They're going to go like this. Clearly, this guy has something to do, something in his clan or whatever. Again, if I'm saying it wrong, I don't care. You got the nice wings, 3 different colors. Look at the texture on the feathers there. That looks absolutely amazing. And these will plug in nicely. And again, on both sides, you are paying for this detail. And you're getting this detail. So anyone that complains about their price, that's really more on you than anything. So here's his helmet, which does move up and down. You have that wonderful face sculpt with a great mustache. Nice blue eyes that look like they're painted the way they're supposed to be. Nice eyebrows. All right. Now, you don't need to have the wings on it, as it really doesn't bother. It doesn't look bad like that. And you can look through it and you can see exactly what's there. It's got a dragon right up here. And then once again, another eagle right on top of it, which I gotta say, probably get a little bit heavy, but we can pop that thing off so that we can kind of look at that eagle, that detail. It's more like in a pewter color than anything. All right, And then look at the top of that helmet, that nice detail. You see the design right in the middle, hand painted right down the middle there. This looks awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our wings and we're going to pop our wings right on here with no problem. And see, this makes me go, oh, I need another knight to go with them. Maybe I'll change out this guy's head, which I don't remember his name. Man, how do I not have... How do you not have this head on? I just... This is what kills you with some of this stuff. Just... It looks awesome. So this is just going to plug right in. We can move it wherever we want. And we're going to pop that right on top. And look at that helmet. We can lift it up again. Maybe. Actually, you can't, because once the wings are in, it makes it very difficult. You can. So now there's a lot of resistance because that's how the wings are holding that on. All right. He comes with the knife, the dagger. Pops out. This is pokey, so don't give it to a kid to play with. It does have a little bit of flex, so you shouldn't have to worry about it breaking. You got your nice paint on your handle there. Nice little design here. And then you have your sheath, which again looks like it has a little bit of wear to it. 3 different paint apps on it, so this looks awesome. And then we get the big sword. Oh, look at this. This is a sword for a man. This is a sword for the Dewey Decimal System. And if you know what the Dewey Decimal System is and what that references to, congratulations. All right, so we got this nice sheath here. And when you look at it, it really does have that texture to it. Nice design on it. All right. And we're just going to slide this thing right out. But you look at everything. Now, I'm going to assume that we can probably wrap something around, because this needs to stay on somehow, right? Or maybe it just kind of slides through here. I mean, I guess we could slide it right through there. I don't like that. Maybe I should have looked at the figure first to see. That's what happens when you're doing a review that is first hand. All right, so there you go. More of an eagle. All the feathers. And it is a shorter blade. I mean, it's long, but the blade is actually shorter because you got all this detail on it. So you got your nice grip here. The bottom of it painted blue. Whatever this is kind of holding this ruby or whatever it is on top or on the bottom there. Eagle on both sides, which looks awesome. Kind of looks like an eye there. And then when you look at this sword here, nice detail in it. You can tell that it has been worn. He's taken this thing into battle. And then we can just slide that thing right back down into it. All right, as for the actual figure, let's take a look at this guy. And yeah, I should have thought about it here. They do have little pieces here that are going to hold this together. All right, so first we'll start off at that head sculpt and look at that thing. That is awesome. All right, nice blue eyes, wonderful mustache, great eyebrows. You have texture in the hair that makes it look like there are actual strands of hair. You can't really complain too much about that. Here we have his collar. And a buckle right there. So I'm wondering how that buckle is supposed to connect to something, I would say. Why would you have a buckle right there? But we'll take a look. I think this is meant so you can break him apart and maybe make him into an army builder. Again, I don't know why you would, but you can. Nice soft goods with his insignia right there. And obviously we can see it right there on the horse too. So this guy is perfect for that. All the design right here on his pauldrons. Well, I guess these technically aren't the pauldrons because that is the pauldron. But on his armor down here, lots of eagles. Lots of eagle feathers, lots of eagles just kind of built in. Look, even on his elbow pads are eagles, and look at those designs. So all of this designed better than anything that you're going to imagine. For $50, this thing is just dead on. Nice soft goods all the way through, as I already mentioned. Wired through here so we can make it move. We get down to the belts here. We can see the buckles here. They're meant to look big, which is nice. We got a little clip here. I guess we can do all different types of things because you can buy different accessory packs for these guys. A couple little pouches right on the back, and look at the little paint. This here, all right, that is what sets off a figure like this. Taking the time to do that little bit of a paint, all right, and this thing kind of splits across just like that. All right, you're gonna flip this back up. He's got his design here all the way down in his shin guards, going all the way down, and then has his boots that do not have any type of toe articulation, which is perfectly fine. And I am wondering, just kind of looking at this guy. Nope, these are different, definitely different boots, shoes, whatever you want to call them. All right, as for his articulation, his head can look up, it can look down, and obviously go side to side, along with the neck, which will move. There is his. Oh, I didn't even look at this here. So we have this piece here. We've got the big eagle. Look at this. All this. I mean, this thing looks like it has its own armor on it, which is actually pretty damn cool. The feathers through it. This pauldron is awesome. I mean, it screams out who he is. And again, I like the fact that we can take it off and use it for something different. I think you can kind of army build him if we take off his whole outfit, which I don't really want to do, but we'll see. All right, so he can get his T-pose right there. That is his elbow bend. They do not have double jointed elbows. Now, I'm not sure if that's supposed to change. So you get a 90 degree right here. This is the old style figure. And they don't get full 90 degrees. All right, so I believe this is one of the figures that they said have the new articulation to it. So they're going to get a little bit better articulation, which is good because that is where they have been lacking like crazy. All right, man. So I believe all this comes off. I'm trying to look and see here as I'm messing around here. These things are all meant to be interchangeable. So if you don't know about Mythic Legions, they're meant to be interchangeable with any of their products. All right. So anyway, there's your single jointed elbow, wrist swivel back and forth. Obviously, you can go back and forth. You're not going to have any butterfly joints. We can see how easily he moves up and down, so he can look back and forth. He can go side to side. As for Jean-Claude Van Damme, take it a damn good Jean-Claude Van Damme. There is his knee articulation. You're going to get 90 degrees. This guy is actually really smooth. Didn't have to heat him up at all. And then you have your ankle rockers so you can position them. They do have pegs. If you need to use stands, you shouldn't have to, especially with guys like this, because they have pretty large hands. As for popping off the hands, that comes off really easily. If you're dealing with a female figure, I would say heat it up for sure. All right, so this is all part of it. I'm not really sure why I have two different hands. I mean, they look like they're the exact same. I think one is maybe slightly different color. I don't know. So anyway, I don't really see a difference. If you guys saw a difference in the video, then please let me know. So there we go. That's how easy it is to swap the hands. As for the head here, the head pops off. I'm not really sure why they're giving me a second one like this. I thought this would have been the actual skin tone. This piece will come off. All right. Maybe this is so I can use it on this guy over here. I don't really know. But either way, I'm going to pop this right back on here. As for the helmet, now he's in his eagle helmet. Oh, God, that looks badass. That looks so badass. As for the pauldron here, all right, the way their pauldrons are, they can just kind of pop right in to their back, but you can pop wings in there. There's all different types of things. That's why I said maybe these go on his back. I should know by now. I've had more than enough things of theirs that have the helmet type stuff. So there he is with 2 pauldrons on, which is really that really hampers his articulation, but we fully understand it's not a big deal. But looking at all of this, I'm assuming if we take all of his outfit off, I do not want to pop him apart, so I'm not going to. But I'm going to say if I look underneath it, he has a complete knight outfit on. All right? And maybe that's the reason why they give you the extra parts. All right. As for the big sword, let's see. Does it fit? I mean, I feel like it should just kind of slide right down in that, but I just don't know if it's going to. Because these ones are way too small. All right. So let's take the sword out. Man, oh man. Man, there are probably some Mythic Legions guys that are just flipping out right now. Probably already thumbing out texts towards me and in the comments telling me how stupid I am. I don't know anything. And you're absolutely correct. I'm just some guy that likes to do reviews. And I like to buy nice looking figures. And I think these figures are some of the best. So I'm not really sure how to get this to stay on. I'm kind of feeding it through this way. And I just don't feel like that's how it should be. So I feel like I might have to play around with this guy a little bit more just to figure out how this thing is supposed to go on there. But it is like a leather style. It's a really thin, soft plastic. Here, I think we can get that up like that. I know someone's going to tell me in the comments, it's not how you do it. You could have done it like this. It would have been much easier. Good chances one might be my mod. All right, so now I got that in there. It does fit. It's not the greatest fit, I'll be 100% honest. We're just going to slide this right down there so he can have it ready to go. All right. Now we can either take this sword here, and we're going to slide it through on this side. All right. So I think it looks pretty good there. Again, both these head sculpts are absolutely amazing. And my guess is these pieces are, if I want to take the cloth off, and I already mentioned this, and kind of, look at this. We can take this off. So you can take this off and put it somewhere else if you don't want to have his shield on him. And that's because the shield is probably used for other things. But let's be honest, this thing is badass. All right. So what you're not going to get, and this is unfortunate, is it's going to be really hard to get him to hold this giant sword with 2 hands. That is one of the biggest disappointments, I would say, when it comes to these things. To get them in some specific poses. Now, I guess not bad. I can get him here now into... Now, this pose here, I'm sorry, it kind of looks like he's in his last-ditch effort to fight. But we can get him into hold the sword with 2 hands. Not my favorite pose like this, that is for sure. Big feet, no problem really standing. Just gonna pop this thing off. Let's just throw it in this hand. And let's be honest, I'm gonna have him on his horse soon, so I'm gonna pop this thing right on here. And again, if you're new to the channel, I want you to understand, I like to show people exactly what you're going to be getting and how difficult it is possibly to pose these figures if you're going to have to heat them up. So here we can kind of have like the wind blowing, and there he is, ready to fight. Swords out. He's looking. Let's flip this thing down. Flip that mask down without knocking everything off. Now, I don't know if I want to go into it with a bunch of wings on it and a big eagle, but maybe he's their leader, right? And this, again, I don't know why the leader wants to tell everyone, hey, I'm the leader, come at me, but I guess he wants to. So anyway, there he is. That is Sir Gideon, your Mythic Legion. And again, $50. And there's this horse that we're going to address, well, in the next video. But I do like this. So now we can kind of compare them here. So here is, I don't remember this guy's name. And this is not a hat from Mythic Legions. That is from Fresh Monkey Fiction. So we can kind of see how they compare. I think they look pretty good together. Why this guy has nunchucks, I don't know. But he's badass with nunchucks. So there you go. A little bit bigger. Oh man, that staff. That's what took down all my toys up top there. If I take a beachhead, you can see how much taller he is. Maybe I should adjust this just slightly. Look at that. So you can see they're much bigger. I believe these are supposed to be built off a 7-inch scale. Here we have Sea Bison. That's Chester Cheetah Bison right there. I don't know if he's much bigger. Ugh. He does have a big giant eagle and wings on his head. So, but there you go. That is Sir Gideon. All right, so there you go. That is Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. And again, if I'm saying that wrong, well, I don't know how you can really tell me because you can't really tell me in the comments. But if you're new to the channel and you're watching, you go, why would you fumble around with this stuff? I like to give people first-hand experience, what they can expect, because maybe they've never had one, or maybe they've heard something's changed and they want to know. There are wonderful reviewers that give you amazing poses. They talk about it. They show you everything. They show you all the detail. I like to actually give you like you are experiencing it, like you are grabbing this and you're going to figure it out. Because there's times that I've had figures that are just too tight and maybe I snapped a wrist. Well, I'm snapping that wrist not on purpose. But let's say I snapped a wrist. I'm giving you guys, I'm giving you guys the knowledge to know that, hey, maybe just calm down. I know what I'm doing when it comes to putting pressure on stuff. I'm going to try not to break something. And if I feel like something needs to be pressured, I'm going to stop it. I'm not going to be He-Man. I'm going to warm it up if it need be. But then you guys can see, hey, that's how I need to do it. So anyway, there he is. A very long review, and I do apologize, but this is how I like to do my stuff. Anyway, there it is. Mythic Legions, Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. I think I'm saying it right. I apologize for not taking him apart and taking his outfit off. I'm not going to display him like that. And I've done this with some of the other figures, some of the other Mythic Legions, and they can be somewhat of a pain to put back on. So I didn't want to do that. Maybe someone will say that's not a full review. Okay, I'll accept it. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. You like this guy, so what you want to do is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, because you're like, you did a wonderful job, and I got to see when you drop that horse. But what I'm going to do right now is up here, I'm going to leave you with Mythic Legions or a 4 Horsemen video right down here. And down here will be the 4 Horsemen playlist of everything that I reviewed, which now is becoming a pretty good amount. Take care.